Do you want power?
Power!
Do you want to last a long time?
Wait a minute.
Do you want to make people scream?
Screaming like,
You probably don't right now, but don't worry, I don't either. Don't worry about it. That's why we got beast mode fragrances. Fragrances that project like there's no tomorrow, last for an eternity, and I got 10 of the best ones for the winter season, cold weather wood. And trust me, you do not need a lot of sprays with these following fragrances. Start off with a little dinky travel spray. This is Kilian Smoking Hot. I'll have the bottle somewhere on screen right now. This right here is really, really intriguing. Got apple, tobacco, smoke, cinnamon, vanilla, licorice. The opening is quite fruity, a tad bit fresh, but once that opening dissipates, the tobacco and the smoke really are the star of the show. It's like a wet cigar that is lit. This is also quite spicy.
Sick freak!
Not for the faint of heart. Not everyone likes a strong tobacco fragrance or a strong smoky fragrance. If you do, you're gonna love this. This one is very attention grabbing, and when I've worn it, it's really more for a special occasion or for the dead of winter when it's really cold outside. And in my humble opinion, better than Angel Share. Next one is an oldie but a goodie, Diorum Intense. Just because it is played out does not mean it smells bad. It just means at one point in time it was outstanding, and it's still outstanding to this day. Ambrette, Iris, Lavender, Cedar, Vetiver. This is a very makeup-y Iris, a lot of sweetness, powder, and then a little bit of a chocolatey feel. Even though chocolate is not a note, you will smell it when you get an older batch. I don't know about the newer batch, but this one is quite chocolatey. No, easy, buddy. Hello, bud. How are you? I'm doing content right now. Give me a second, bud. He wants my attention.
You gotta do something!
Give me a minute, okay? And when I finish this, we'll do some stuff.
pause.
That sounded really bad. I don't mean it in a bad way.
Stop it. Get some help.
I'll give you some belly rub, don't worry. This one's also more formal than it is casual. I've worn it in many casual situations, but for the regular person, they might think this is more formal. This one is in that $100-ish range, maybe a little bit higher, but compared to the Kilian, it's a lot more affordable. Number 3, PDM Layton. Again, just because it's played out doesn't mean it doesn't smell good. This is fantastic. And no, this is not a niche version of Boss Bottled. The way they come across is quite different. And as much as I love Boss Bottled, this is a lot better. To this day, my most complimented fragrance. Apple, geranium, cardamom, lavender, vanilla, sandalwood, pepper, cumarin. I will say one con is that when I first bought this in 2020, it was a lot more affordable. This is before PDM blew up in popularity all over social media. It was still relatively popular in the community, but the popularity that it has nowadays was not where it was at in 2020. Very warm, spicy, inviting, heavy on the vanilla and the woods. And the opening, that geranium does come across quite minty or mentholic to some people. A bunch of my friends complimenting with this. Strangers complimented me. Whenever I would go to parties, this was my party scent. I could definitely recommend older batches. The newer ones, not so sure. I've heard a lot of mixed bags about the newer formulation, but this right here, this is liquid gold. This is awesome. Number 4, I no longer have because it broke. Rest in peace. Nishane Fan Your Flames. Quick story time. I brought the full 50 milliliter bottle on the plane with me in my backpack. I brought a little toiletry bag on my way back to Syracuse where I went to college. The bottle broke because the person sitting in front of me reclined their chair all the way back. I didn't even hear it break. I just opened the bag when I got back, and yeah, the bottom was completely cracked. It was just seeping juice slowly but surely. I had to use it, before all the juice came out. So for a period of time, my sophomore and junior year, I was just spraying that almost every day. Rum, coconut, tobacco, cedar, tonka bean. This is extremely sweet and extremely boozy. I had some cousins tell me it smelled like a hangover. I've had various reactions with the fragrance, more so neutral than positive or negative, but it will grab people's attention, whether good or bad. Even though it's a very heavy scent profile, the coconut makes it really tropical. Doesn't mean I would wear it in the summertime. I would never do that to myself. You could still find a 50 milliliter bottle for under $100, and quite frankly, I really think you only need 50 milliliters. If you use 100 milliliters of this fragrance, you live in a very cold environment. Outstanding value right here. So this next fragrance is the reason why I came up with the video topic. Paradox Tribute from Fragrance World. This is supposedly a clone of Tobacco Rose by BDK Parfums. Rose, plum, tobacco, cinnamon, chocolate, labdanum, more notes, but those are the main ones I get. This is very powdery, quite sweet, rosy. There's a lot of rose in here. This is more of a mature, powdery, slightly fresh rose. And in my opinion, it does lean more towards the nighttime and special occasion than it does on a casual basis. This is the most unisex fragrance so far, and there's another one that is quite unisex as well. Anyone can realistically wear this and get away with it. The reason why I inspired this video is because the first time I sprayed it, I wasn't the biggest fan, and I got this in around middle December, so about a month ago. I didn't really like it as much as I do now, but when I first sprayed it, it just lasted most of the day. I sprayed it on sometime in the afternoon, and right before I went to bed, I could still smell it. I'm like, damn, can this bitch get off my skin?
No! No! No!
And it did not want to.
I'm a dumbass.
And in some instances with certain fragrances, maceration is what makes a fragrance really good. This has aged a little bit to the point where I'm growing to like it a lot more. The first time I sprayed it, that rose was just way too powdery for my taste. And I actually really like powdery fragrances, so that's saying something. It has calmed down a little bit. The sweetness has been able to balance it out. The rose in here is getting a little fresher, but outstanding fragrance right here for about that $30-ish to $40 range. Sometimes you just need to let fragrances macerate and develop after the first spray. This is another unisex leaning fragrance. L'Artisan Parfumé Noir Exquis. Where the hell is this brand in 2026? For the past year and a half or so, I've been trying to collect more L'Artisan Parfumé, because when I first joined the community in about 2019, 2020, these were readily available for about that $100-ish to $150 price point. And these were some amazing value niche fragrances that did offer something unique to the table. Someone please update me in the comment section, because I really want to know what the hell's going on. Got chestnut, vanilla, maple syrup, ebony woods, tonka, sandalwood, and heliotrope. It is quite heavy with some syrupy sweetness. It is a little nutty and quite inviting, bordering gourmand territory, but not a true gourmand. The chestnut and the sweetness in here is similar to the sweetness in By the Fireplace by Maison Martin Margiela. Obviously, this doesn't have all the smokiness that fragrance does, but the sweetness is quite similar. Elite date night fragrance in my opinion, but I need another bottle. Where the hell are you? So the fragrances I mentioned before were quite strong in beast mode, but they're nothing compared to the next two fragrances I'm about to mention. If Amouage Interlude is the Blue Beast, Mancera Red Tobacco is the Red Beast. Holy crap, is this a superbly strong fragrance for no good reason. Spices, oud, tobacco, incense, saffron, nutmeg, vanilla, amber, sandalwood. The opening is extremely intense, definitely not for the faint of heart. You need to try this before you buy it. It is just too much for some people. Funny story, my smart applied 3 sprays of this before going to a class in sophomore year. I never did that again.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
While the opening is quite harsh and intense, when it gets to the mid and to the dry down, it actually becomes really pleasant, but it is still potent like a mother. If you don't want to go in public with the initial opening, spray it about an hour before you leave to go wherever you need to go. A little bit similar to Carlisle by PDM, but this is a more budget version of that and a lot louder in my opinion. I mean, I'm talking about almost a full day. If you sprayed it on at 12 a.m., there's a good chance you'll be able to smell it at 11:59 p.m. the same day. Let's throw this one in here. White Oud by Montal. This right here is the strongest fragrance in my entire collection. Even stronger than Red Tobacco, and that's saying something. One spray of this will linger in my room for at least 2 days. Rose, saffron, oud, vanilla, amber, labdanum, sandalwood, cardamom. I should also mention both this and Red Tobacco could be found under $100, so affordable niche fragrances for those who want to try it. White Oud is a smoother, creamier, and a little bit of a milkier take on the rose saffron oud combination. Also more vanillic too. The smoothness in here just balances the little bit of sweetness, but more so the spices and the oud. The oud in here is quite medicinal, but the wood finish, the rose, the vanilla just smooths the whole fragrance out. This one again, 3 sprays max. Let's end with some designers. Dior Fahrenheit Le Parfum. One of the greatest designer fragrances of all time. Definitely up there with Dior Homme Parfum pre-2024. This is an evolution of the original Fahrenheit with that violet leaf, almost gasoline petrol leaning smell. I never got that, but it was quite dark and rough. This smooths it out a lot. Along with the OG's violet leaf, you got a lot of suede, licorice, rum, and vanilla to make it sweeter, smoother, and boozier. Leans more nighttime and formal compared to the original, which is a lot more versatile. The only con to this fragrance is I don't know where you could sample it. You could probably find samples online, but to try it in person with the actual bottle, I actually don't know where they sell physical bottles of this in a physical store. A list like this can't be finished without some type of spice bomb. I have infrared right here. Realistically, you could go with the original or even Spice Bomb Extreme. Dark leather is a little too muted for a beast mode type of video, but this will get the job done. Cinnamon, pink pepper, tobacco, few other notes, but those are the main ones. You could find this in that $70-ish range. Depending on the bottle, you could find it for a little bit cheaper. This is a 3-ounce bottle. I know the 1.7 is cheaper. At least to me, this is what the color red smells like. Very spicy, a little sweet, quite versatile too. This is really versatile in colder weather, daytime, nighttime, formal, casual. Any guy could pull this off, honestly. It is quite versatile. So hopefully you liked the video. Comment down below what beast mode winter or colder weather scent you would recommend to other people to try. Give a like to the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you soon.